Rob Kendall, along with Tyler Bless, the head coach of the Plainfield Quakers. Coach, how's it going?
Great. How are you doing?
Great. So a big win on Friday night, man, from start to finish. That is about as well as a team can play. You got to be pretty happy.
Yeah, very happy, very proud of our guys on just how they went really through the whole work week of being laser focused and driven to go 1-0 on Friday night, and we went out and executed with great attitude and great effort, and was very happy for our kids and our coaches and our parents and everybody a part of Plainfield football.
Yeah, one of the things you got to be pleased with as a coach is it seems like your team is getting better from one week to the next. And I know you talk about week by week. That's got to be something a third of the way into the season that's pretty promising for you.
Yeah, I mean, you certainly want to make strides each week, and probably all three phases of offense and defense and special teams. I think we've been able to do that. I don't think obviously we're a finished product by any means, but um, those mistakes have been corrected, whether it's in film or in practice. And our kids are very coachable in terms of seeing what they need to do better or what they can improve on, and they've accepted the coaching. They've handled it well, and then obviously it's showing off on Friday nights with getting a couple wins here at the start of the season.
Yeah, so let's start with the defensive side of the ball. I know that's an area you've had some concerns first couple weeks on the coaches show, but man, a shutout, really a dominant performance by the defense.
Yeah, first shutout I think since 2016. So that's a huge goal for our defense. Very happy for Coach Stewart, our defense coordinator, and our defensive staff. But I really thought from start to finish they were kind of on a mission. Mooresville has a solid quarterback. They have a solid receiver that we knew that they were going to try to get the ball to, and we kind of challenged our secondary in the earlier in the week of testing them in 7-on-7 periods with our scout guys and team periods, and really they handled it very well, and it displayed on Friday night with them. I think they were looking at my chart here. They were 0 of 8 on third down, so that is huge. We got an interception as well from Grayson Harden. Got a pick six by Jake Dellinger right before halftime, which was huge. But I really have been impressed with how they have accepted the coaching. They've improved. I think we're getting better at pursuing to the football. We're tackling in the open field. We're making the correct checks when we need to. So, been very pleased with our defense. A lot of that goes to Coach Stu. A lot of that goes to the kids of just um, doing what they're supposed to do and executing at a high level.
Yeah, and obviously it makes it easier for you offensively, but I'll tell you what, the offense seems to be clicking at a very high level now, 42 points, nothing to sneeze at.
Yeah, I'm very, very pleased with our offense. Um, we rushed the ball 31 times for 204. Um, Only had 40 plays of offense because of the running clock in the second half, but we were 6 of 8 on third down, and we were 1 of 1 on fourth down. So a total of 7 for 9. We were 4 for 4 in the red zone. Luke Starnes scored twice. Weston Wyrick scored, or I'm sorry, Luke scored 3 times, I believe. Weston scored twice. So nice complementary football by those two. I think our offensive line is making tremendous strides. I've been very pleased with our tight end group. Running backs have been solid, and I've been very pleased with our quarterback of just managing the game, taking completions when they're there, and just kind of again moving the chains to get first downs, manage the clock. So I've been very pleased with our offense, but still got ways to go and progress. But very happy so far going into week 4.
Well, you mentioned the quarterback play, and let's talk about that for a second because your quarterback play is doing, like you said, what you asked them to do, which is you don't have to win the game for us. You simply can't make silly mistakes. And in a weird way, they are helping win the game by just being good game managers.
Yeah, I think Bryce has done a really good job. We haven't really pressed the ball down vertically down the field like we have in years past. I don't think that's necessarily we don't have to do it right now. I don't feel like we just. I mean, we can throw it any time, but I really think when our passing game is moving in the right direction is when he's comfortable. The ball gets out of his hands quick. He's going through his reads consistently. So I've been very pleased with him. And again, I've told him from the beginning, like we don't need you to do this or that. Just these are the things we're asking you to do, and he's done a very good job at that. So I'm very happy for him.
Yeah, let's talk about the backfield. Obviously, you've got that two-headed monster back there, but it's led by Luke Starnes. I'll tell you what, we've been doing this for whatever it is now, 16, 17 years doing Plainfield football. He's one of the best players we've commentated. He is a dude.
Yeah, he's a very solid football player, and we're very lucky to have him. It's nice to have two really good running backs, especially in 5A, especially in our conference. Um, a little bit of one does something well here, the other one picks it up on the other end. So him and Weston do a really good job of complementing themselves. I feel very confident in either one when we put them in the game that they can run the run schemes that we're calling. But yeah, Luke's got some power. Weston's got some speed that maybe Luke doesn't have at the top end of things, but both of them are obviously really good football players. Keeping them healthy is important for us. And I think how we have managed them in the 3 games will continue to be like that, just in terms of a health a health reason or not a risk reward type of thing of not trying to run one kid into the ground while the other kid's still fresh. So it's back and forth. I mean, looking at the stats from Friday, Luke had 14 carries and Weston had 12. So that's kind of right where we want to be in those numbers. So very happy for those two and very happy for our guys.
Now, let's talk a little bit about, well, before we do that, let's thank our sponsors who make our Plainfield football broadcast possible. Remax Centerstone, Julia Burbridge, Canal Financial, Crone Family Construction, My IT Indy, Ryan Grimes, I-70 Wrecker Service and Garage, BGW Construction, LLC, Legacy Motorsports, Crest Point Real Estate, Chris Pearson, Sell with Jones, the Stewart Home Group, and Ellis and Associates. Let's talk about that running clock. That's obviously something that was implemented a couple of years ago to try to speed some of these maybe more lopsided games up. Do you like the running clock that'll take place?
I've been on both ends of it, unfortunately. I do understand the why of it. I think it is. I think it's a good thing that the football or the IHSA does. This running clock, if you exceed a 35 margin, point difference, it doesn't start though until the second half. So I think it was we hit it in the second quarter, maybe with like 2.5 minutes to go. So if Mooresville would have scored right before half and it would have been a 28 ball game, then obviously the running clock doesn't occur. But that doesn't start until the second half. So obviously going into halftime, we knew that, okay, hey, there's going to be a running clock. I wanted our ones of offense and ones of defense to go out for that third quarter just to get in a rhythm again, execute. We were able to do that. We went down and scored. And then we were able to get some of our reserve players in, which was important to me. The goal is still at halftime for everybody, offense, defense, and special teams, was to secure the shutout. So I was very pleased to see our defense finish the way that they did, stopped them on fourth down and inside the red zone. But I told our kids like that running clock, guys, you're going to get about maybe 2 possessions each. I mean, the game's going to be over in 24 minutes. So it only stops on injuries and then after a score, like in transition from PAT to kickoff. So it goes fast. Like I said, I've been on both ends of it. So on the bad end of it, you can't wait for it to be over. On the good end of it, you want to try to play as many players as you can, and you're happy for the kids for getting to that threshold.
All right, so let's talk about one other thing, then we'll get to Perry Meridian, which is the home field advantage. And now we've seen this. I mean, we've seen this for many years at Plainfield, just how phenomenal the fan base is. But what a big home field advantage you guys have in terms of, I mean, just being out there and being able to dominate. It's going to make you feel good as a coach to know, hey, the community's behind us and the players are responding to the support they're getting from the
Yeah,
fans.
I do think our kids understand that too. I mean, our kids are heavily invested into football, but also other sports and rooting on their classmates. Going down to the middle school games on Thursdays or trying to catch as many Optimus League games on Saturday or Wednesday night. But really, 2 good crowds. First 2 home games. Senior night was week 1. Friday night was youth night, so we had all of the youth football players and cheerleaders here. I thought it was a great crowd, though, of people supporting us and coming out to really. I hope they know that they're a bigger part than just Plainfield football. Like, this is a whole community that's behind our kids. Whether you're a parent, whether you're a fan, an alum, but it's super important to me to make sure that our kids understand the importance of winning our home games. And that's one of our season goals, is to win at home and to have that home field advantage. To, when we're here in our backyard, people are going to show up and support us, but we also need to expect that our opponent is going to come in and play to a high level. So I've been very pleased with how our kids have handled that. They've accepted that, kind of challenge of winning at home, and hopefully we'll continue to do that here in the coming weeks.
Yeah, again, let's thank our sponsors that make our Plainfield football broadcast possible this year. Remax Cinderstone, Julia Burbridge, Gannell Financial, Crone Family Construction, My IT Indy, Ryan Grimes, I-70 Wrecker Service and Garage, BGW Construction LLC, Legacy Motorsports, Crestpoint Real Estate, Chris Pearson, Selwood Jones, the Stewart Home Group, and Ellis and Associates. All right, so Friday, we're back on the road. We're going to be at Perry Meridian. What do the Falcons bring to the table?
Yeah, on the road again. Perry Meridian is 2-1. They got a good win Friday versus Franklin Community, 12-7 on the road. So they're a good football team. Coach Cooper does a great job. They've returned some of those kids from last year's group that really probably should have beaten us at home. They missed a field goal late. We were able to kind of take a knee and get out of there. But a good football team. They've got 2 good wins behind their belts. We're going to have another great week of practice of preparation and focusing on us, but going out there on Friday on the road and executing. So looking forward to it. We go on the road here this week and next week at Greenwood. So we don't come back home until later in the month for homecoming.
Yeah, so talk about that a little bit. When you come off a big game like this, do you worry at all about a let up? How do you kind of keep the kids motivated? Because these obviously can turn into these sort of trap games after great performances.
Yeah, I mean, that's something we've talked about early in fall camp with our seniors when we did our senior day at the lake. And, I think this group of kids, and especially this group of seniors, are focused on taking every opponent serious because of how things occurred last year at any given moment with us. So I want to think that we're more mature and see our opponents differently than just, well, it's XYZ and they're not any good, or it's this or that, or we're at home and they've got to show up here. Like, I think our kids have a better understanding of respecting all of our opponents, understanding that each year teams, coaches, players are allowed to get better and improve. So it'll be something we mention, yes, but I'm not going to make it a major emphasis of saying it's a trap game. We just really have to continue to do the things that we've been able to do, which is have great attitudes, have great effort, and have great execution on all 3 phases. And that's going to put us in a position to be successful on Friday night.
All right, we'll get you out of here with this. We're a third of the way through the season now, man. High school football always just seems like it flies by. As you kind of judge your team 3 games in, kind of judge a third of the way through the regular season, where are you guys at, or were you anticipated? Kind of some of the things you're happy with, and maybe a thing or two you say, we got to get a little better at that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised that we're 3-0 because our expectation is to win every football game, and we want to do that. And that's the things that we're telling our kids, is that we have to have a 1-0 mindset. So I'm happy that we're 3-0. I'm not satisfied. We still have things to clean up. I think we're still, we're now getting into, okay, this is our offense. These are the things we're good at. This is our defense. These are the fronts we're in. These are the blitzes we like. This is the coverages we can play. Special teams, hey, okay, this is our punt unit. These are the guys that need to be on the field. Kickoff, can we tweak anything on kickoff return? How is our locker room? How are the people in our locker room? What are the conversations like? Where's our leadership at? So all those things get asked and answered on a daily basis. But where we're at right now, I'm happy. I just want to make sure that we're taking this one day at a time, one game at a time, and trying to continue to improve, because we really want to play our best football towards the end of the season, going into the tournament. We've set ourselves up for a good position to do that by what we've done the last 3 weeks, but by no means are we a finished product and can take days off or can pat ourselves on the back and read all the articles about us.
All right, as we always do, Coach, let's wrap up the show. Anybody behind the scenes that you want to mention that doesn't always get a lot of credit up front, but you couldn't do it without?
This one's a little bit unique. Jack Aldridge is a senior for us. He's a captain for us. Right before the start of fall camp, Jack was in a really kind of a freak accident at a putt course, and had some damage to his palate, lost a tooth. The first kind of news that I got was it was not good. He was going to be out for a good chunk of the season, but miraculously, kind of in all the ways that things work, he's healthy enough to play. He actually played on Friday night. He started. He got a little bit of play last Saturday at Harrison, but just the news that was at the beginning of the month in August to the news at the end of the month in August to early September has been not completely different, but it's just healed a lot better than we thought it would. He kind of stayed in the fight. He was engaged in practices when he was not able to go. He was still leading from the front. So just to see the adversity that kid had in early August to, kind of where he's at now to watching him start and make some plays for us on defense is special. It kind of, tugs on your heartstrings a little bit because what the kid has done for us, what we've asked him to do, and just to see him have adversity early in the season, but also be able to come back and play at a high level. So super happy for him, really proud of him of just, kind of having the belief that everything's going to work itself out. And here we are, getting ready for week 4, and he's healthy and playing again. So not maybe behind the scenes, but a kid that deserves some credit for the stuff that he's gone through early on in his senior year of football.
And that's awesome. Love to hear it. All right, Coach, let's get a big win on Friday night, and we'll look forward to talking to you hopefully about a 4-0 Plainfield squad next week.
Yes, sir. Have a great week. Thank you.